So while we are still early in the stages of research on stem cell treatments, they may offer a new avenue for helping individuals overcome emotional and mental obstacles, moving them closer to the empowered, fulfilling life they really deserve. What if I told you that stem cell treatments could help overcome mental health issues that impact so many people? I mean, we know the potential of stem cell treatments for physical ailments and health issues, but what about for mental health? In fact, a colleague of mine recently posed this question. It's an intriguing question. It really made me pause and think. And, when you think about the increasing success of stem cell treatments in helping with chronic pain and other physical ailments, she wondered, what if these treatments could help individuals overcome deep limiting beliefs and an unregulated nervous system? Wow, I had to think about that some more, but initially, I was thinking that these treatments would have little or no effect on mental or emotional states. But the question stuck with me, and I had to think about it, and I thought about it. Could there be something more to this idea? Could stem cells, known for their remarkable regenerative properties, actually play a role in reshaping the mental health of individuals? Well, let's explore this fascinating question by diving into the science of stem cells and their potential impact on mental health. But let me warn you, do your own research, right? Anytime you see videos on this, if they're not a doctor doing stem cell treatments, please do your own research. And I'm not a medical doctor, and these views are really my own. However, I did do some research, and I'm going to talk about that in this video. So that's enough of the fine print. Let's dive in and talk about the power of stem cells. So what I was able to find, and I'll talk about this here in a few minutes, is that stem cell treatments have shown great promise, obviously, right? You've heard of that, in addressing various chronic pain and physical ailments. Stem cells have the ability to regenerate and replace damaged tissues, which is why they've been particularly successful in treating chronic diseases like arthritis or joint pain. They're even treating immune-related diseases, right? Like rheumatoid arthritis or Crohn's disease, things of those sorts, okay? But could these same treatments potentially have an effect on the mind and emotions and our belief systems? Now, again, I'll restate, this seemed initially not possible to me because mental health and limiting beliefs are often seen as being deeply rooted in our psychological and emotional and social experiences rather than being something that could be repaired at the cellular level. But here's where it gets a bit wild. What if stem cells could promote brain renewal and regeneration? I mean, after all, if stem cells can regenerate physical tissue, is it possible they could also influence the brain's ability to create new neural pathways? Perhaps by bypassing the old patterns of thought, creating these new neural pathways that eliminate or clean or cleanse those neural pathways that are associated with limiting beliefs or anxiety or self-doubt. So before diving into how stem cells could potentially impact mental health, it's important to understand the broader concept of neuroplasticity, and that's the brain's ability to reorganize itself, forming new neural connections. All right, neuroplasticity plays a significant role in mental health, especially when it comes to overcoming limiting beliefs and managing anxiety. I mean, the brain can literally rewire itself, but this process often takes a lot of time and effort. Now, consider this. If stem cells could potentially rejuvenate neural tissue, they could accelerate the brain's ability to form new connections, again, bypassing those old patterns of negative thought. Could this process directly impact mental health by enabling the brain to adopt new ways of thinking, more positive belief systems, and a healthier emotional regulation? I don't know. I mean, at first, it seems far-fetched, but the idea isn't entirely out of the realm of possibility. Research into the use of stem cells for mental health and cognitive disorders is still in its infancy, but however, early studies show promise show promise in how the stem cells could potentially help with conditions like depression and PTSD. So let's take a look at 3 relevant studies that are exploring the impact of stem cells on mental health. And the first one was looking at stem cells and depression and sort of the new potential for a new treatment paradigm. And this study was conducted by researchers at the University of California in San Diego, and they explored the effects of stem cell treatments on animal models with depression. Okay? The researchers injected neural stem cells into the brains of mice, which resulted in a significant increase in the production of new neurons in the hippocampus, the region of the brain responsible for memory and emotional regulation. The results were promising. The treated animals showed a reduction in the depressive symptoms, which the researchers attributed to the regeneration of neural pathways. Now, while this study was conducted on animals, it suggests that stem cells could potentially promote brain renewal, improving mood and emotional regulation in humans. This in turn could help individuals struggling with mental health issues like depression and anxiety, as well as those with deeply ingrained limiting beliefs that contribute to feelings of inadequacy or self-doubt. A second study was on looking at PTSD and whether stem cells could rewire the trauma-induced patterns associated with PTSD. So, and this was at Harvard University. They investigated how these stem cells could be used to treat PTSD. And PTSD is often linked to the brain's inability to regulate the emotional response to trauma, leading to persistent anxiety, flashbacks, and hyperarousal. And this Harvard study found that stem cell therapy promoted neurogenesis, and that's the growth of new neurons in the areas of the brain responsible for emotional regulation. The hypothesis behind this research is that promoting the growth of new neural connections, stem cells could potentially help rewire the brain, reducing the impact of trauma and alleviating symptoms associated with PTSD. So this raises the possibility that stem cell treatments could help individuals who are dealing with emotional scars of the past, as well as those who have developed limiting beliefs as a result of that trauma. Now, a third study that was published in the Journal of Neuroscience Research explored the potential use of stem cells in treating individuals suffering from severe anxiety. So the researchers conducted their experiments where they injected neural stem cells into the brains of animals with anxiety disorders. These results indicated a significant reduction in anxiety symptoms, likely due to the increase of new neurons and the subsequent reorganization of neural pathways that regulate stress and anxiety. The study suggested that stem cells could promote positive changes in the brain that help individuals better manage anxiety. And for those suffering from constant worry, fear, or anxiety, self-doubt, other related limiting belief conditions, maybe stem cell treatments could potentially aid in creating new mental pathways that allow for healthier emotional responses and a reduction in the irrational fears that are associated with those limiting beliefs. So, how could stem cells impact limiting beliefs? I mean, that question remains. Could stem cell treatments directly affect a person's limiting beliefs? While we don't have a definitive answer yet, the research into stem cells and the neurogenesis suggests they could help directly by rejuvenating the neural structures that play a role in how we process emotions and memories and beliefs. If the brain can form new neural connections, man, it could theoretically bypass the outdated limiting patterns of thinking that cause anxiety and self-doubt and negative self-perceptions. It would be awesome, right? And this is not to say that stem cell treatments aren't a quick fix, right? They're not a quick fix for mental health or limiting beliefs or the anxiety caused by these conditions. I mean, changing one's mindset and the belief system required is an intentional and sustained effort. However, stem cells may provide an additional tool to help accelerate the process by enhancing neuroplasticity and supporting the brain's ability to form healthier, more adaptive thought patterns. So what's the bottom line here? Stem cells may be just a piece of the puzzle, right? Not a quick fix, but while we have much to learn about them, the potential is there. And these studies suggest that there could be significant impact on the emotional regulation and anxiety and cognitive disorders, especially for those individuals who are dealing with these limiting beliefs or a nervous system that's out of balance. Stem cells could provide the biological boost to help the brain's ability to regenerate and rewire itself. It's a challenging topic, but I am excited about it. And thanks for spending time with me today. And do me a favor, subscribe and share this video if you know anybody who could use this information. But remember, do your research. Do your own research on stem cells. Don't take the words of a non-medical doctor. Do the research. And also, don't forget to check out our website, themindflowcycle.com, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot. Stay strong.